we're going to start talking about the eye. Well, eye and ear are two biggest ones. And I will tell you what to know, kind of what to memorize. So we're going to chat about extrinsic eye muscles and external eye structures first. So regarding extrinsic eye muscles, so you've got 6 of them. What you need to know is the directions of motion. You've got anterior rectus, posterior rectus, sorry, not posterior, I'm sorry, not there yet. Superior, inferior, lateral rectus, and medial rectus. These 4 are super simple, okay? So, superior rectus, your eyes looking up, inferior down, lateral out, medial rectus in. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, right? Now you have 2 oblique muscles, and I do have a model of an eye here. Okay, you can see here. So you have 4 rectus muscles: superior, right here. Okay, lateral, right here, medial, right here, and inferior, right here. Okay, those are pretty straightforward. You pull on them, you see where the eye goes. Then you have 2 oblique muscles, which are superior oblique and inferior oblique. So these are kind of a little bit weird on the model that you can that some of you have, and those of you who don't, I can pull them out in a second. Hold on a second. So this white thing is the tendon of the superior oblique, and this muscle here at the bottom is the inferior oblique. So they work in a slightly different way. That's kind of not really confusing, but something that you need to remember. So superior oblique, obviously, well, it's not obviously, it's actually down and out. And inferior oblique, actually up and out. Okay? Okay, next what we're going to talk about are so-called externalized structures, which are kind of boring. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Okay? Okay, so few structures here. Tarsal glands in eyelids produce oily secretion. Okay, does that make sense? Prevent your eyelids from sticking together. Lacrimal glands lacrimal glands are located here. You can see it in the pictures. So they produce tears. As you know, they're watery, and they contain antibacterial lysozyme and immunoglobulin A. And then you have another structure. Oh yeah, tears, just sort of FYI, when you cry, have sniffles, because your tears drain through the nasolacrimal duct, which connects the medial commissure of the eye, like these corners of the eye, with your nasal cavity. So basically I have a lot of tears just draining in the nasal cavity. Does that make sense? And another structure that important here is conjunctiva. So it's a mucous membrane. Okay? And there are basically two parts of the conjunctiva. It's just easier to show it. So that pink membrane that covers the inner surface of my eyelid is the part of conjunctiva. Does that make sense? So this part of conjunctiva, the one that covers the eyelid, is called palpebral, because palpebrae is the fancy word for eyelid. Now conjunctiva extends onto your eyeball, not entirely, but it covers, so basically it doesn't cover your iris. You see what I'm trying to say? So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you look at your eye and you see the iris, that area is not covered by conjunctiva. Am I making sense here? So the part of the conjunctiva, that's continuous membrane, but the part of conjunctiva that covers your eyeball is called bulbar conjunctiva. Okay? So those of you who wear contacts, when you put contact lens in your eye, you put it basically in that crevice between the bulbar conjunctiva that covers the eye and palpebral that covers your eyelid. That crevice is called conjunctival sac. Conjunctivitis, you'll probably heard about this. This is the inflammation of conjunctiva. Can be mostly caused by bacteria. Chronic conjunctivitis, caused by such microorganisms as Chlamydia trachomatis or Neisseria gonorrhea in infants, if it's left untreated, which obviously shouldn't be, can lead to blindness. Okay, permanent damage that is not actually curable. So that's it for sort of key external external accessory structures, okay? And we're actually going to move on and discuss functional anatomy of the eye. And I want to make sort of a kind of, separate the whole eye conversation. So we discussed outer structures. Then we're going to talk about the anatomy of an eye and what it consists of, what different parts do. Then we're going to talk about accommodation, how you can look close and far and so on and so forth. And the last bit will be about the actual mechanism of vision, how light can be converted into electrical impulses that go into your optic nerve. Okay?